Hello guys, Mr. Fluffy Pants here, and today guys in the video, and today guys I'm reviewing episode 4 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is entitled The Whole World is Watching, or something like that. But, you know, this review will contain spoilers, so if you haven't watched it, go watch it real quick, then you can come back here. But, yeah, this episode just goes straight for the jugular, like, holy crap, this episode is, like, to the extreme. Like, you would never see this in, like, a mainstream release MCU movie, which I guess is kind of a good thing with, like, the show, especially, like, Falcon and Winter Soldier. They've really been going for, like, that more, you know, there's, like, more death and stuff than you would see, like, an MCU show, more, like, blood, I guess. The only other MCU movie I can think of that actually had, like, blood, it was Avengers Endgame, when Rona's just straight up slicing people's throats. But, yeah, especially with the ending on this episode is like, whew. But, I would say this episode is mostly, okay, so, you know, you got, Sam and Bucky, and Zemo, they're still trying to, you know, get Carly and, you know, the rest of the super soldier serum, but, you know, at the same time, Dora Milaje's coming after Zemo there, and they tell Bucky, because at the beginning you see like a flashback 6 years, and how AO was trying to, you know, help Bucky get the you know, she was like saying the words that would activate him, and you know, he was crying, thinking about all the stuff he did, and, you know, he was finally a free man, which that scene was really powerful. And then like AO's like, hey, you know, we helped you, and now you helped break this guy out of jail that killed our king and whatnot, and, you know, what's going on? And Bucky's like, well, listen, I need him right now. And she's like, okay, well, you got 8 hours. And you know, then I'm like, okay, so Bucky's probably not going to tell him that they're after Zemo, and then, you know, they'll just show up at the end or something. But no, Bucky straight up goes back to the penthouse and just tells Zemo and then and Sam, he's like, hey, oh yeah, Dora Milaje is after you. And then, which he shouldn't have told him that, because Zemo uses that to his leverage later. Which, you know, Zemo, you know, he's still not a straight up hero, but, you know, he's not a straight up bad guy either. He's right there in that gray zone, because later when they're trying to figure out about Mama, whatever that Mama Dorme or something like that is, they're trying to figure out where her funeral is so they can meet up with Carly. And, you know, because, you know, at the last episode she blew up that GRC base or whatnot. And now, you know, her group's labeled a terrorist group, and they're trying to figure out where this Mama something funeral will be held, because they know Carly will be there, because she's pretty much like a mother figure to Carly. And I love what Zemo... Okay, so Sam, you know, goes upstairs trying to figure it out, blah, blah, blah. Bucky is watching Zemo. Zemo gets, like, some candy, and he's, like, starts singing Baba Black Sheep, which is kind of creepy, but, you know, he puts some candy down for some kids, and he's like, hey, tell me where, you know, this funeral will be held at, because I'm one of her friends. You can have some Turkish delights. Which, like I said, I love Zemo so much. I love him so much. But, yeah, and then, you know, he gets the location and the time of the funeral, and like I said, he uses that later when, and also Captain America, John Walker and Battlestar, meet up, with them trying to, you know, get leverage on their side or whatnot. But, pretty much later, you know, they meet up, and John Walker's like, hey, I'm going to arrest Zemo, and also you're going to, you know, take us there. And Zemo's like, no, I don't think so. And then Bucky and Sam's like, no, I don't think so either. And John Walker's like, well, I'm going to go in there and get her then. And Sam's like, no, just let me talk to her. And I like how they tied in the background with, you know, him being kind of a therapist for soldiers, like back in the winter, you know, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. He's like, yeah, I know how to talk to them, and then kind of, you know, connect with them personally. He's like, I'm gonna try to do that, Carly. And, you know, and then even Battlestar's like, yeah, you know what, John, that's actually a good idea, let's try that first. But John Walker's so impatient when Bucky or Sam's in there talking to him. He's like, okay, you got 10 minutes. And he couldn't even wait 10 minutes. Like, he was so ready to go. He goes in there, and then, you know, after Sam and Carly are connecting, Carly's like, dang, this is all just for you waiting for backup to come. And he's like, no, not at all, which, you know, is really true. But and then Carly, you know, a little skirmish run battle kind of thing, but Zemo ended up shooting Carly right in the chest, and all the rest of the super soldier vials spill over the floor, and Zemo just starts having a heyday stomping on them. And, you know, then we see Zemo gets hit in the face by John Walker's you know, Captain America shield, and John Walker picks up the last vial of super soldier serum left, because, you know, Zemo was just having a heyday stomping on those, which I thought was funny. But and, you know, also now the stakes are kind of risen for the Flag Smashers, because then they get a text from the Power Workers like, hey, I want my vows back or else you're dead. And they're like, okay, well, there's no more vows left, so I guess we're dead. Which Sharon Carter kept getting brought up, but I don't know. I just, like, I don't think she's the power broker, but something's just not right about her character, I want to say. I'm not really too sure about it, but then you got the whole thing later in the episode, John Walker's asking Battlestar, he's like, hey, so if you had the super soldiers here, would you take it? And he's like, well, yeah, I would. And then we learn later that John Walker does end up taking it in that final little skirmish thing where John Walker goes to attack the Flag Smashers in that really weird compound thing, which I thought was a really great setting. It was like a warehouse kind of thing. But Battlestar gets like knocked out and tied up and whatnot, and then John Walker, we see his super strength, which at first you're like, did he take it? And then eventually when he's fighting that guy on the stairway, bends the pipe and throws him through the wall, and Sam's just sitting there watching. He's like, John, what did you do? But, Battlestar gets out, and then I like how, they all do come together to fight the Flag Smashers, John Walker, Bucky, Sam, and also Battlestar too, all fighting the Flag Smashers. Also, one thing, earlier in the apartment when John Walker, Battlestar, Bucky, and Zemo and Sam are all there, the Dora Milaje show up to come get Zemo, right? And John Walker's like, hey, I don't know who you think you are, and then they start fighting, trying to kill John Walker and Battlestar, and then, I like how Sam and Bucky are just sitting back like, we'll just let it happen, and then finally, they're like, okay, fine, we'll help, and I like how the Dora Milaje know how to take Bucky's arm off, because, that is Wakandan tech and whatnot, but, like, Dora Milaje are badass, though, and then after, Zemo escapes and Dora Milaje leaves, they're just like, John Walker's like, man, they weren't even super soldiers, and I still got my ass beat, and, he's kind of, depressed about that, but, so Zemo doesn't end up escaping, so I'm guessing they're just going to kind of leave that. I'm going to take a guess and say he's not going to come back for the rest of the series, and that's just how they're going to be like, oh yeah, he's out in the world somewhere, but I kind of do hope he comes back to help fight at the end. Like, my theory is also that Isaiah Bradley's going to come back and fight. Not sure if that's going to happen, but back to that scene where, they're all fighting in the warehouse with the Flag Smashers. Carly comes in, slams, Battlestar into a pillar, kills him, and then all the Flag Smashers, everybody starts fighting, just looks at him like, oh shit, what did we do? And Battlestar's just dead, he's like bleeding from the mouth and all that. John Walker goes up and he's like, where is she? And he starts running after this one Flag Smasher that runs out in the middle of a highway thing, and like on a little sidewalk stair kind of thing, and John Walker just starts bashing his head in with the shield, and everybody's like recording around him. Kind of reminds me of like this whole ending scene kind of reminds me in Black Panther when they have to beg T'Challa not to kill Ulysses Claw like in public, because they're like, hey, the whole world's watching, they're all recording you, don't want to look like that on for everybody's internet and radar and all that. But John Walker just bashes this guy's head in on the street in front of like a couple hundred people, and then that's going to go out everywhere. And my guess is that also really strong imagery when he's standing up with the shield, and it's got like blood all over the bottom of it, and John Walker's just looking around all angrily. Like, yeah, I think Battlestar really kept him kind of grounded, like a grounded character. He kind of kept him not from going off the deep end. After he died, he just went off the deep end, because especially from this episode, you kind of get the impression that Battlestar and John Walker just want to really try to do what's right, but John Walker will do what's not right just to get to the ends, I guess. But Battlestar kind of kept him anchored there, but I don't know. But like I said, very strong imagery there, and what a ending. He's super serum now, and he's not morally correct at all. And my theory is that the U.S. government's gonna be like, hey, no, you're out, and they're gonna get like Sam or Bucky to go get the shield from him or whatnot, or kind of bring him in. I'm not sure, but I'm really interested to see, because we only got 2 more episodes left. Like I said, I really hope like Isaiah Bradley and Zemo come back at the end to do the big final battle or whatever's gonna happen. But yeah, this series is getting really good now. I think storytelling wise, it's a lot better than WandaVision, but mystery wise, WandaVision was definitely a little bit more. But I think that was the whole point of that series. But I don't know. Overall, though, I'll probably give this episode like a 9.5 out of 10. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this episode down below. Did you guys like it as much as I did? Because First of all, this episode also felt really long too, which I really appreciate. It was like before credits and all that was like 47-ish minutes, which it felt really long. I was like, yay, I hope it keeps going, but eventually it had to end, especially at the ending. I was like, that was more a shock and awe ending. But like I said, 9.5 out of 10. But check out my Twitter and Discord link in the description. Like and subscribe for more. Check out some other videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.